were building it. And I was literally filling out applications to go back to being a school teacher with 3 kids at home because I didn't have any other option. Mark was out of work again, and it was just like I had to, and I remember like being at the table filling out, like trying to figure out how I was going to get a job teaching and what I was going to do with my kids because they were so little, and how much money I was even going to make at the end of it, paying for daycare. And I mean, what would I even have left at the end of the month after that? And I just remember feeling so bleak and so hopeless that this is what my life came down to, was just 50, 60 hours a week for nothing, and the sacrifice for my family. So I just drove past that dealership in my mind thinking like, gosh, I could go in there right now and buy a Mercedes if I wanted to. And how just a few years ago when that dealership was being, my life was so different. And so, just knowing like wherever you guys are at in your business right now, everything could be so different in a couple of years, whether it's even better or you're back to where you were before it works. Because I see people coming and going, it's been almost 5 years for me. Can you believe that I've been a distributor? And I look at this as like a career. It's not something that I just dabble at, and if it works out, great. And if not, oh well. Like, I don't look at it that way. Like, for me, this is what I'm committed to. And something I heard tonight when I was stuck in traffic was so good. There's this guy named Eric Thomas, and he's this motivational speaker. He's this Black guy. He's like so incredibly inspiring. He's the one person, if you've ever heard him, he'll say something like, if someone dunked you underwater, it was like, fighting for air, the whole idea of like, how bad do you want to breathe when you want to be successful as much as you want to breathe? That whole idea. I don't have to put that up because it's so powerful. So that's him. I was listening to something that he said, and he's like, there's just a difference between a contract and a covenant and a commitment. And so many of us go through life like under this contract, like we're going to give it 6 months, right? And we're out of there afterwards. We even have friendships like that. We go into a lot of things, a hobby, a new goal, with a contract mentality. Like, I'm just going to give this 3 weeks. I'm going to give this, 2 hours of my day. Like, there's this stipulation. And then there's other things in our life where it's like fully committed. And you can think of like friendships or relationships or other things in your life where you are so committed that it doesn't matter what may come or go. Like, that's your friend for life. You're going to love them through any storm. A relationship you may have with a spouse or a sibling, it's like no matter what comes, you are so committed. You are completely invested. It's not a contract. It's you. And I feel like how many of us have signed distributors, or maybe we're thinking like about it works like a contract. For me, I look at this as a commitment that I've made to myself and my family. I love this. I love the company. I love the people behind it. I love the products that are being produced. They're good quality products. We don't produce junk. I stand behind everything that we produce as a company with It Works. I love our stuff. I really do. And I love the people behind it. I love the compensation plan that's been created for you and I to make as much money as we want. And I love the heart behind the company about giving back and serving and enjoying life again. It's not about how many cars or houses. Don't you love that it's really not this show with It Works? Like, people throwing money. I did this other network marketing company, you guys, like 10 years ago, and I swear I would never do another one again. I was in it for a few months, gave it my all, never made more than a couple $100 in any paycheck, and I spent more than that each month. But what always turned me so off, like literally, like I'm sick even talking about it, was how much they flaunted the money. And the rich, everything just oozed materialism. And I'm not like that, so for me, it repelled me. And I just don't see our company doing that. It's just, it just feels good to be a part of this company. It feels good. And so I hope that if you're on this call tonight, that you will think about where you stand with It Works. Is this like a contract? Like, I'm just going to give this a little bit? Or are you like me and you're like, you know what, I'm here. This is what I am putting my name on. This is what I'm putting my reputation on. This is where I want to be in 5 years. I want to grow a legacy for my kids here, because I think that will change how you look at the seasons, how you may look at the rise and fall of your check. Doesn't matter. Come what may, I'm here. I'm here for life. That's how I feel about my business. And so if my check is high one month and low the next month, it's okay. It doesn't break me. It doesn't shake me. It doesn't make me start looking at another company. I don't do that. I don't, I can't imagine going back to teaching. As much as I loved it, I can't imagine doing that because I can bring all of my talents to this business and I'm paid what I'm worth, you know? And so I'm thankful for that chapter in my life, but here. And I think that everyone that's on this call, all the people that you've met and the experiences that you've had have all led you here for a reason. And so that's something to celebrate. So think of your business contract or covenant. That's the, and I'm going to find it. It was so good as I was listening in the car. But his whole analogy was, are you a contract person or are you a covenant person? Mm-hmm. And there's such a difference between the two. And I thought of my business and how so many people think about it. Got a lot of contractors. We want the covenant makers. We want the covenant keepers to be with us, and we can become that ourselves. And that's how we create a team of them. You know, if you're wishy-washy, your team's going to be wishy-washy. I'm telling you, if you are, if you're not sure that you can do it again, let's say that you just like came in and you just cranked things out. You got to a place where you were doing so well with it works. And then you just kind of flatlined and there's a part of you that doesn't think you could do it again. Because honestly, that's like a fear that I'm working through. I'm overcoming that myself. I don't ever want to appear, no, that's not true. I used to always want to appear like I was this unshakable, unstoppable leader, right? Well, I have my weaknesses too. I struggle with things too. And instead of not ever showing that to you guys, what if I turn my fears into teaching moments or into lessons, such as, you know, there's a part of me that thinks I've talked to everybody about It Works. I've been doing this almost 5 years. Everyone knows, right? And as I say those words, I'm laughing because I know that's BS. I have not talked to everybody. I've been adding friends throughout these 5 years. People don't see what I'm doing through Facebook. I'm meeting new people all the time out in the world. So as I have this fear inside, like I've talked to everyone, I don't know that I could ever build something the way that I did when I first started. Once I start saying it out loud and talking about it with other leaders, like, do you feel like that? Do you feel like that? Maybe Colette feels like that. You know, kind of going through here, April may feel that way because she's been doing this for a little while with us. Kelsey, you know, I don't know where you are in your business, but what if a lot of us feel that way? Like we're this one-hit wonder. What if instead of that being a weakness, we turn it into a strength or into a lesson and start talking about it together so we can get over the lies that we're telling ourselves. One final thing too, and it would be kind of cool for you guys to share this, so maybe we can kind of open the mic here in just a second. But I want you to think really quick, what are you believing about your business right now with It Works? So if you have a piece of paper and a pencil, I want you to write a statement down at the top. I want you to write down, what do I believe about my business? Okay, there's some paper. What do I believe about my business? Okay, and if anybody would like to share, this is such a cool thing that you guys can do with your team that might not be here tonight. And this applies to your personal life, your fitness life. What I'm about to share with you is a really cool lesson that I've recently learned. So what are you believing about your business right now? Who wants to share? Open, honest, real. We don't have time for, you know, politically correct answers. Enough politics, right? So who wants to start? What are you believing about your business right now? Ready, go. Who wants to start?
I'll start. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, April. April, you're up.
So I believe I have rebirthed because I have been in this business for 3.5 months. Years, 3.5 months, 3.5 years. And I have gone through that transition where who started with me is not with me now. Because they've either given up on themselves, they've talked themselves out of their goals and their dreams. And so for me right now, mine is all about rebirth. And that's constantly what comes to my mind. It's bringing new people in. It is that initial fire of a new teammate and how excited they get you when they gather their first loyal customer. And it's brand new. It's something new where I'm like, I've enrolled hundreds. So sometimes that excitement personally is not there for me because I'm like, oh, just another one. Oh, just another one. But their excitement is a rebirth for me.
Okay, cool. Okay, so on your paper, you would write down, I believe that my business is under rebirth, right? Like that's kind of like where you're at with that. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So everybody else, and thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. So again, kind of have a statement, like a general statement. What are you believing about your business? It could be positive, it could be negative. I want you to be real with yourself right now. What are you believing about your business? Okay, that's question 1. Question 2, there's 3 questions. Okay, so question 2 is, how do I feel if that is true? Okay, so how do I feel if that is true? So I want you to go back and look. Again, some people are going to be positive, like April's was on the positive side. I feel a rebirth, right? This new growth happening. Awesome. So second question is, how do I feel if that's true? You also may have a negative statement for number 1. Like I feel unsure. I feel unsteady. I feel like things are falling apart, right? So question 2 for you might look different. It will look different. How do I feel if that is true? I feel what? Defeated, motivated, lost, right? So who else wants to share? I don't care if it's positive or negative. Be real, because there's so many growing moments that we can all gain together by being real. You know, I'm all about that as I get older in life. So who wants to share what they heard? Number 1, and then we're going to walk through number 2 with you. Anybody else want to go for it? Let's see.
Don't be afraid. Speak up, people. This is our chance.
I'll share mine.
Okay, cool.
Mine, it says the best is yet to come, but you have to work through the now.
Okay, so you are believing about your business that the best is coming, but you got to work. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel if that's true? What did you write for the second question? How do you feel?
I wrote, I'm hopeful, I'm excited, I'm focused.
Okay, cool. Good. I like it. Anybody else share 1 and 2 what they wrote down? I'm always that girl, you guys, where I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait 5 seconds. If no one volunteers, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to be the one.
Ready.
Okay, love it. Okay.
I said that I feel like my business is stagnant and it makes me feel hopeless.
Jamie, thank you for sharing that, because trust me when I say you are probably in the majority of people that feel that way. So thank you for being open and honest there. So if you're believing that your business is stagnant, and how do you feel if that's true? What did you say again?
It makes me feel hopeless.
It makes me feel hopeless. So because you're believing that, Jamie, and this is such a key moment for me when I unlocked this a couple weeks ago, I was believing the exact same thing, Jamie. And so I was feeling the same way, Jamie, like hopeless. What's the point? I've already done my best. Why? Right? Like, I felt tired. I felt all of those things. And so that's really why my business was stagnant, is because that's how I was working. How I was feeling, that's how I was behaving, that's how I was breathing. Do you know what I mean? Everything lined up with that belief system in how I for my business. So question 3 is really powerful. And Jamie, I would love for you to just stay with me for a second. Because question 3 is this: who would I be if that wasn't true? Who would I be if that wasn't true? What do you think?
I guess I would be more successful. I mean, obviously that's the obvious answer.
What else? If your business wasn't stagnant, if that wasn't, because that's what you said, my business is stagnant. So what if that wasn't true? And you didn't feel hopeless? Who would you be then?
I mean, as far as labels go, I'd finally be a triple diamond.
Look at your whole face right now. Look at how everything about you just like lit up a little bit.
Thanks.
Did you see that? Did you notice that?
Well, I was looking at your face, but...
Oh, but I was like thinking, you know, like who would I be if that wasn't true? I would be, for me, this is like, because I was totally in the same boat when I did these questions with my life coaches. I thought, okay, well, if my business isn't stagnant, if that's just BS, who would I be? I would be on fire. I would be enrolling. I would be excited. I would be working. I would be, you know what I mean? Like the words just kept going and going and going. And I felt different and my face looked different and my voice changed, you know? And I thought, what if I was working out of that place? How would everything be different? How would I be feeling? How would I be speaking? What kind of people would be drawn to me and, you know, pulled in my direction? Because that's just how it works. We attract who we are, right? And so all of you that participated in this, I want you to go back and look at what I'm believing about my business. How does it feel if that's true? Who would I be if that wasn't true? So going back to April, kind of on the flip side, if her business wasn't in rebirth, if she wasn't on fire and excited like she was explaining, who would she be? She would probably be watching TV. She'd probably be making excuses. So our belief system in what we believe is happening in our business is causing us to behave and act in a specific manner. And if that wasn't true, everything would be different, whether it's positive or negative. So April believing that she has a rebirth right now is causing her to speak and work in a specific, passionate way. Take that away from her. If she feels stagnant and like her team's falling apart, how would she be talking and behaving? Right? So it's like our belief is everything. And I think that getting real. So let's kind of use this as a personal example. What if someone said, I can't lose weight? What if we turned it around personally about diet? And my belief system is I've always struggled losing weight. It's genetics. It is hard for me to lose weight. Okay, that's what I'm believing. How do I feel if that's true? I feel like, why bother? I'll figure it out in January. I'll eat this extra piece of cake. Right? Well, who would I be if that wasn't true? If number one wasn't true, I would be my ideal weight. I'd be confident. I'd be happy. I'd be comfortable in my skin. I'd be putting on exactly what I wanted to wear, not what just fits in my closet. So I would behave and act in a different manner. So it's just an interesting observation to look at your business because it makes more sense why things are the way they are when you look at that number one answer and what it is that you're believing about your business. Really quick, and then I'll kind of move on from this topic, but I met a girl up in Virginia when I was up there, and she's like, I'm just burnt out. She kept saying it again and again and again. And I was like, you know what? That is what you're believing about your business, that you're just so burnt out and so tired. So how does it feel when that's true? It feels like the best days are behind you. You're looking at other options. You don't even have the energy to talk to people anymore because you believe you're burnt out, right? Well, who would you be if that wasn't true? I asked her. And she really thought for a moment. It's like I could see her whole face change. And she's like, I would be excited about my business. I'd be working my business. And I was like, yes, you would. You believed for so long that you're so burnt out and you've been behaving in such a manner that your business is now. Who would you be if that wasn't true? You know, and I could just see your whole countenance change. So something to think about, right? I love learning and like, okay, that's something cool to ponder for a minute. So Colette, what questions did you guys have for me? I know you said you had a couple questions.
Yeah, and that actually leads right into it. So let's just use this scenario that everyone here has that fire, has that passion. They truly want to take their business to the next level, but there's a little bit of a disconnect. Maybe it's that belief system. Maybe it's the things that they're saying to themselves about their business. But what can they be doing besides the self-talk and changing that? What action steps should they be doing to grow their business or take it to the next level? If they're saying, I've been doing this for so long and nothing's working, or I'm not quite getting there. Can you help them with that?
I just think people wake up in the morning, they don't really know what to do.
Yeah.
I think most of us are just like, well, I think I'll just jump on Facebook and well, I might message some people, or like, they're just like aimlessly going about their day. And I really feel like if you could wake up tomorrow, Monday morning, and be like, you know what, today I'm going to, and think about it for a second. Like, don't just put anything down. Like, what do you really want to accomplish? Because anything that you set your mind to, you can accomplish. So if you wake up tomorrow and you give yourself a task, a goal, a focus, I bet you're going to do it. So it just might be like, today I'm going to message 5 people. Today I'm going to message 20 people and just say, hey, I was just thinking about you. Today I'm just going to post on 20 people's wall without any expectation or anything that I'm looking for in return. I just want to be a really great person today and just start making more relationships that feel genuine for me. I just think that we aimlessly search through Facebook and scroll through Facebook, and we get so tired that at the end of the day, we don't feel accomplished. We didn't have a task. We didn't have a goal. We're not really sure that we're being successful with our business, and we just feel lost and we're tired. I think most of us work our business at a 2 or a 3 all day long, and we're exhausted because we've been doing this for a year or 3 years or 5 years. What if you just worked a 10, like an all-out 10 for 20 minutes? You know, what would that look like? What kind of day would you have if you woke up in the morning and did the miracle morning?
Mm-hmm.
I talked about this over the summer, and I was really good about it for most days in the summer. I discovered, I really feel like it was this genuine, like it was supposed to happen in my life, where I met this guy that I went to high school, or I reconnected with this guy that I went to high school with, had this great conversation. He was telling me that he was literally on the brink of total, like literally suicide. He lost everything. And someone told him about the miracle morning, and he's like, it literally saved my life. And then I put it on the ambassador page, and I said, hey, this is a great book. Somebody recommended this to me. It really transformed him, because my friend is so successful now. I mean, he's like a millionaire, and he's just such a cool guy, where I'm like, oh, I would have never guessed he was on the brink of suicide at one point, you know? So I posted it. So this is a really great book idea. And then we had 2 ambassadors that chimed in and were like, oh my gosh, that's the same book that I used when I went from Double Diamond to Presidential in 3 months. And I was like, oh, I should read this book. And it's just a series of ways to just start your day. It's like, imagine what the world would be like, or our children, if we incorporated this into like a daily practice in our family, where you wake up and you have like a moment of silence or prayer, you know, where you just like take that moment before your day begins to just like center yourself and just go to a place of gratitude or prayer. You're basically giving yourself a focus. It's like you're starting your day with a sense of focus. So it's silence, it's affirmations. Affirmations are so new for me. Like I felt weird the first few times I did it. Like, I'm amazing and I'm so powerful. Like I didn't even know what I was doing. But now I realize that it's just a way to see yourself in this life. You know, that you truly are capable and amazing and brilliant and beautiful and kind and all the things that we tell other people and we don't tell ourselves. Because you're with yourself for the rest of your life. You know, you're your own best friend and companion to the end. Why not love yourself a little bit more and not be ashamed of that? So affirmations, exercise, even if it's running up and down the stairs, doing 10 push-ups, whatever. So we've got a sense of silence, affirmations, exercise, visualization, which none of us probably do. We can visualize ourselves enjoying the work with It Works, enjoying the process of promoting, talking to people, blitzing, building our business. Like we see ourselves doing it with joy and with ease. We visualize what we want with this business. How many of us are really doing that? Not a lot, right? Who would we be if we started visualizing ourselves as a diamond, as a triple diamond, as an ambassador, writing a check and paying off our home loan? What do you want to do? You know, what do you really want to do? Can you see yourself doing it? Do you ever picture yourself actually doing it? Can you start tomorrow? So after visualization, it's reading things that will inspire and grow and help your soul, where you feel like, gosh, I want to tell somebody about that. That was good. That's the kind of reading we want to do. Scribing is, I think the last one is putting something down on paper. And that for me could be my focus for the day when it comes to my business and a few things I want to do. So all of these things, it could take 5 minutes, it could take an hour. It depends on what kind of time you have. But I feel like if we started our day with a sense of focus, if we filled our vessel, we would be able to accomplish everything that we truly wanted, instead of working at a 3 or 4 and not getting anything done through the day. So that would be my goal. Colette, with your team, my hope for your team is to have a sense of focus every day and know what you want to accomplish. Yeah. Try to incorporate the miracle morning as much as you can. Even if you just get a couple of those things in, I think that you are really, you're gonna wake up all over again. And that is the reason that I kept promoting it. Is I'm like, I'd rather have a happy team that feels like they're in love with life and their business than people that are miserable and promoting and like hanging on to volume. Like, give me a happy distributor any day, because a happy distributor is going to be one that's going to build a happy team, and people are going to be naturally drawn to them because they see something different in them and they want that. And so that's why I pushed the Miracle Morning so much over the summer. And so many of you are new. Maybe you don't even remember me seeing or talking about it. I can't say enough about it. It changed my whole life.
Which one there's one for network marketing and then there's an original. Which one did you read?
Oh, for sure, the original. I liked the network marketing one after,
Yeah.
but the blue one is so good. I mean, you can whip through that thing really in a couple of hours if you want. It's so good. I mean, you just go through it like butter.
Yeah.
But it's really just like the practice of it and not beating yourself up that you're like, oh, I didn't get to. But you'll start noticing the mornings that you do it, even a couple of them, I'm telling you, where you're like, I had the best day. I had such a productive morning, and it's because you started your day with a sense of focus, and you did something on all levels, mind, body, and spirit, that helped to enlarge you and grow you. And that's why you feel good. That's why your business starts to grow again. So have a focus. Wake up tomorrow and really stretch yourself. Like, what do I want to do tomorrow? Maybe tomorrow I want to enroll a new customer because that's going to stretch me. And so everything that I do is in terms and in line with meeting that goal. I think so many of us are afraid to say it because we're like, what if I can't do it? Or like, I don't know, it's kind of a lot of work, right? Like, it depends on where you're at in your journey, whether you don't think you can or you're afraid of the amount of work that it might bring. There's some reason why. If I say to you, okay, your goal tomorrow is to enroll a loyal customer. If half of you are like, figure out why. Why did you have that reaction when I said tomorrow enroll a loyal customer? Because there's probably a belief that you can't do it. And you just need to talk it out, because once you start talking it out, you realize how silly it is. It's a fear inside, but once we start saying it, we're like, no, that's not true. I feel like everyone I talk to is going to say no. Well, that's not true. Like, once you say it and own those words, you realize, okay, maybe I really don't have that much to be afraid of. Maybe all of this is just self-talk that's getting out of control here. So if your goal tomorrow is to enroll a new distributor, go for it. Do it. And every time you catch yourself with all that little self-talk that's happening, figure out why you're doing it. Say, oh, that's interesting. And don't spend all day chewing and dwelling on the fear part. Just do it, and figure out what it is that you want to do. Like, for me, Christmas cash. Like, I want to get the Christmas cash. I want to do it just because I would like to do it. So that's my goal, is this week I want to get the Christmas cash. So tomorrow I want to enroll a new loyal customer.
Perfect. So that leads me into my next question.
Okay.
So we're talking about go enroll loyal customers, go enroll distributors. I had multiple questions with the same question. Was, I have all these potentials, but no one is signing. I have all these potential distributors, no one's signing. You say complete the steps to success, but everyone I talk to either goes crickets or doesn't respond back. So can you briefly just share about that?
So maybe tomorrow or tonight when we hang up, what if you go back to your list of potentials and say, are you ready to enroll? And just like a little phrase like this big. I think we write these novels. We're like, they didn't write back. They probably, people are just so busy. What are we busy doing? I would like to add, like, no one's that busy. We all like to think that we are, but we're really not. So a lot of times people feel so overwhelmed. They see your message come in and it's this novel, and they're like, I'm just so busy. I can't get to that. Right. So what if you just simply said, do you want to enroll? Okay. So I had this guy that, he was going to, videography is what he does, right? He was going to come to my last 1-to-1 mission and video me and put these videos together, whatever. But I was kind of the same way, where I'm like, oh, it seems like such a big project. I'll get back to it. And, I kind of brushed him off for a little bit. And so he messaged me the other day and he goes, hey, Kristy, do you still want that house by the ocean? And I literally was like, what is he talking about? Oh, my $1 million dream house on the ocean. He remembered me talking about that. Isn't that an interesting way to follow up with someone? Hey, Kristy, do you still want that $1 million house by the ocean? And at first I was like, oh, once I realized, and then you know what? I thought about it all day long. I thought about the one sentence all flipping day. And then by the end of the day, I was like, yeah, I do want that house by the water. It was like, I don't know, $6 million or something crazy like that. But I had said, like, that's a dream for me, and I had talked to him about that. I thought that was a really interesting way to follow up, right? So imagine all the people that have messaged you in the past that are interested right now. What's the one line that when you send it to them, they're going to be like, what? Because once you like kind of shock their system like that, they're going to think about it throughout the day. Hey, did you still want to get rid of those stretch marks? Hey, do you want to enroll today? Hey, were you serious about getting out of debt? Like, what is the line they said, that they're a potential, that you would consider them a potential? Go back tomorrow and just be as brief as possible and just ask them one quick statement. So I think a lot of us we're just so wordy. I mean, even me answering this question was like 1,000 words too many.
Cool. Is there still room at the top? That's
Of
a good.
course. Oh my gosh, of course. Before I got involved with It Works, I think the company had been around for 13 years, or no, I forget what it was at the time. 11 years when I first got on board. The company had been around for 11 years. Okay. So just imagine, I've only been in for 5 years. The company had been trucking along for 11 years. And at that point, I think they had like 7 ambassadors or something like that. I think I was like the 15th ambassador. Like I made the first wall, with like all the pictures. Like I was in the last spot on that first wall after 11 years. And by the time I got to ambassador, it was 12 years. So, I mean, that just goes to show that like anything can happen. Anything can change. It was just like one person told another, and there was a bunch of us that took hold of this because there's something about momentum, speed and momentum, like, woo, amazing things can happen. So here are all these like young moms like killing it. And all these other young moms are like, well, if she can do it, I can do it, and it was like this surge that happened. But what happened those 12 years before? Where was everybody, I don't know. So, anything can happen with this business. I know people on my team have done it faster than I have. People underneath me make more than I do. So that just goes to show that like anything can happen. Anything can change. It just depends on what you're believing about your business. So when I started, I believed that I could do it. I believed that I could get to diamond because I saw my 2 girls above me, my 2 friends do it. So I felt like I could get to diamond. I believed I could get to diamond. And so I did, right? And so I worked in a way because I didn't think that I couldn't. And I think something just happens within all of us. If someone quits on us, they're really quitting on themselves, by the way. They're not quitting on you. Please don't take that personally. But something happens along the way where something shifts in our mind and we think something different about our business. We believe something different. We start acting a certain way because we believe that. And we forget who we would be if that wasn't true. So my invitation to you all is to re-examine what you really are believing about your business. Think about how you're behaving and acting and speaking and working, and realize that if that wasn't true, you would be a completely different person. So yes, there's room at the top. Of course. You guys could make more than me in a year. Someone on this team could make more than me in 1 year. Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Well, I'm going to take on that challenge.
Okay.
Okay. And I don't know if this can be answered easily, but what did your good day, I mean, I know that each day for us is a little bit different. Sometimes we're more productive one day than we might be a next. But when you were promoting at different ranks, and would the promotion look different when you were going to diamond because it was 5 years ago than you're promoting to ambassador? What did you do each day, or what was your successful day activities that helped you promote, understanding that maybe it looked different because of the time frame? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get anxiety even with the word promotion because I just like, it's so much work. I mean, it really is, but we're talking like a $16,000 difference in pay. Yeah. I mean, it's work, but we're talking so much more money. It's not even funny how much money is possible here. So I felt like every time I would go to promote, it was more work because it was more money. My team was bigger, so everything was more. You know what I mean? More time, more stress, all that stuff. I wanted to promote and get to ambassador so that I did not have to promote anymore. Seriously, that was my goal. I was like, I hate this. I do not want to promote. I want to be done with it. I mean, that's really how I felt, honestly, about it all. But I knew, I'm like, if I can just get to ambassador and just get to that point where I'm making, $20, $30, $40,000 a month, I'm at the top level, I don't have to promote anymore. Like, it is going to be worth it. That's my mindset, is like, let me just get there so I can just arrive and live and like sail off into the sunset. kind of like where I was thinking. And I really did that, honestly. Once I promoted to ambassador, I really like kind of rode off into the sunset and did not work my business at all after that. And so that was like a kind of a challenge for me to get back into the work part and change the way I'm thinking, because I developed the same kind of fears that a lot of people do, that nobody's going to be interested and everyone's going to say no, and they're going to think I'm stupid, if I ask them to join my team. Like, I struggle with the same thing that everybody does, even as an ambassador. Can you believe that? People are people. We're all the same at the core. So a good day for me, my best days were parties with my team, because I had so much fun and I just enjoyed it. And maybe driving there, I didn't, because I'm like, oh, I'm away from my kids, I'm sacrificing. But every time I would leave a party, I always felt good. I felt like I got to meet people that I never would have met otherwise. I felt like I was doing such good work in the world to change the world one life at a time. I focused on who was there, not who didn't show up. I made sure that, like, once the party started, that we were going to have a great time. We were going to leave edified and uplifted and just in a better mood. So I think that that's still true, is doing Zooms and parties when you're actually connecting to real people. That's when the joy is felt, I think, the most. So it's work. It's no different than teaching school, but I taught school all day long until 5 o'clock, and I brought all my work home, and I made $2,000 a month doing that 5 days a week, work on the weekends. So I just felt like I'm going to work regardless, whether it's in the classroom or here or teaching as many classes at the gym as I could possibly handle. I'm going to work. I would rather just work doing this, because I know in the end it's going to pay off. Once I get to this point or that point or that point, it wasn't immediate gratification, but it was like, I just enjoyed the process along the way. And I had such faith that one day it was going to pay off, and it did. And so I think that if you're believing that about your business, that one day this is going to pay off, and you believe that you can be an ambassador, presidential, whatever you want to be. Because I had a girl one time, she's like, I don't want to be an ambassador. Is that bad? And I was like, oh, like, she was literally the first person that was like, I have no intention or desire to make that kind of money. I was like, this is an interesting conversation. Let's stay with this for a minute. And she was like, I'm just so content, like, making $4,000 to $5,000 a month. Like, I'm so good if I could just get to that point. And I thought, this is something we need to talk about more, because I think we assume that everyone wants to be an ambassador, right? And maybe someone really just honestly wants an extra $500 a month. Like, that they're so good there. And God bless them, let them do what they want to do. Because if you've got someone, there's this girl on my team, you guys, Nikki Tolpelski. Today's her birthday, actually. She's on Diamond Makers. I remember Nikki sat down with me, and her husband has some job. I don't know what he does, but he loves it, and he makes good income. And she's like, I just want you to know that I don't care if it takes me 10 years to get to Diamond. Like, I'm not doing this for the money. I mean, it's nice to have a paycheck, and it's so cool, but, like, I love the whole team building, being a team leader. I love just getting out of the house and feeling like I have purpose in my life outside of being a mom. Like, I love this business, but I'm just, like, so happy just taking my time. And when it happens, it happens. And she's been with me for almost 5 years. And you know what? She's still Diamond. I think she's double Diamond now. But, like, there's no sense in that being a failure on any level. Do you know what I mean? Like, to me, she is so successful because she is such a steady leader, and she loves what she does with It Works. So she has found a balance with how much she wants to take on as a double Diamond leader and still be a mom and still do, she's PTA president. She does all these other things, right? So I want you to really think, what do I want to do with this business? Where would I be content and happy? And I just know that it's okay that if it's not as an ambassador, if it is, what's your number that you're like, if I made $8,000 a month, like, it would meet all of our needs. It would allow us the freedom that we're looking for. That's what I want, because that amount of work looks really different than it does as an ambassador making $30,000 a month. Right. And so it's just important to, like, kind of get real with it all, but just understand that as you go through this business, you'll figure things out too. Maybe once you get to double Diamond, you're like, well, shoot, if I can do that, maybe I'll go to triple Diamond now, and it's just like a process. Life is a process. We're not ever done. I learned this today, actually. I was reading something, and it said, like, there's no final destination in this business and in life. Like, it's just one day and then another day and then another week. And I don't want you to feel like there's this moment where you're going to be like, I'm done. I've arrived. Like, it's just a process. We're in this together. And I just want you to enjoy your business, enjoy the ins and outs of it, the highs and the lows of it, and the lessons that you can learn. And just decide that you're not here for that contract, and just see it through new eyes, I guess, is what I want you to take away from this is, like for me, I'm not going to ever stop working out. It's not like I'm going to work out for one more year and then I'm done. That's it. Like, I love it. I love it. I teach at the gym because I love it. I love how I feel. I know it's a part of life, right? Do most of you look at fitness and exercise the same way? Like, there's not like a destination that we're going to reach at 50 and be like, now we're done. So what if we look at our business like that too and think it's not about getting to ambassador and then we're done, or making this amount of money and then we're done. It's just a process. It's just the way that life can be if you take off the pressure of it having to be like this final destination that you're going for.
Awesome. Well, I know that it's really late there.
I'm just a hot mess right now, but
you've given us a lot of really, really, really good information. I don't know if you want to leave us with anything else, because it is 11:15 over there.
Well, just jump on the call with, we're going to be on a Zoom with Pam on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I'm just honored that she's doing this with me. This is like a favor. I messaged and just asked if she would answer questions from our team. And so she'll do most of the talking, which will be great because I've got some good questions for her. And I'll probably take at least one question that we had tonight and ask her on Tuesday's call. So just post that on your team page so everybody has that fresh. And I'll see you guys back on Tuesday for more training.
Kristy, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks you guys for jumping back on. Sorry about earlier. Thank you.
It's okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.